Hello, everyone. Welcome to Neecee, Lexy. I'm a content creator, digital marketer, as well as a blogger. So, as the title mentioned, today I'm going to be discussing about basically the things that I learned in my 20s and how these stuff basically shaped me who I am today. Um, my birthday is coming up soon. So every time when my birthday is coming up, I try to reflect on how I have been for the past few years before my birthday. And this is also normally the time where I write down my goals, my plan, and I try to see how my next year and my next age it's going to be looking like, and some of the goals that I'm trying to smash and making sure that I hit it. So it's very crucial time. A lot of people make um resolution in the new year. Some people make resolution whenever they want to, but for me I always do it 2 months or 3 months before my birthday. So today topic, as the title mentioned, this is the things that I learned in my 20s and how my 20s basically shape my 30s. Yes, honey, I might look like 16 years old, but I'm old. So as an old soul, so honey, yes, I might look like a 16-year-old, but I am old. So here are some things that I learned in my 20s that basically shape my thinking and shape the way I kind of move. And also it is the reason why I do what I do so gracefully, is because there are some hard lessons that you're just gonna have to learn with age, and it just comes in as a result of you're no longer that timid person, or you're no longer that shy person that just kind of sits around and kind of go about the flow. And for a lot of people it comes in as a shocking that they're like, oh, when I tell them I used to be really 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 shy, and they're like, oh, you don't seem shy. Well, my confidence comes in as a result of knowing my self-worth, and my confidence also come in because I no longer walk into the room feel like, what, does these people like me? No, I walk into the room asking myself, do I even like these people? Am I vibing with them? Are these people my tribe? These are some things that it just comes with age, and it comes with confidence. And some of these things you learn as you go into life, because life experience just hits you differently, and then that's how you become that person. You become that, either you become very intimidated going into environment, or you become just super confident by walking into any spaces and feel like, what, you are that it girl. So how do you even come about being into that level? There are certain things that life will teach you, and life will help you and guide you to reach there. So without further ado, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because I'm not only sharing growth stock in this channel, I do also teach you how to brand yourself, how to do digital marketing, and how to scale up. And I also share some interviews and stories with entrepreneurs from around the world. So this is a channel where you get basically best of everything, whether it's like you want to build your own business, or you want to level up in life, or even you want to become your own boss. As a CEO, this is basically my piece of pie on the internet to share with you guys how you can even master yourself. So hit that subscribe button, because you want to stick with me, especially for this year. We're not playing. This year we are basically coming full force, and we are going places together. So hit that subscribe button. Get into what's today's topic is basically things that I learned from my 20s. One of the things that I learned from my 20s is focus on your growth. Focusing on the growth is going to be really really crucial, because yes, there might be some things in your life that you did or you wanted to do, but you're not really reaching there. If you focus on your growth, you focus on the goal that you want to hit, or you focus on the things that you want to achieve, this will give you the drive, the motive. It gives you the sense of belonging, of where you want to go in life. And focusing on your growth, how far you have come, will be that key ingredient where, like, you can say to yourself, you know what, I'm not the same person I was last year. I'm not the same person I was last month or even last week. I'm always going to be better. And that growth in itself and that resilience of you understanding, you know what, you're always going to be bettering, you're always improving your life will be a key ingredient, especially if you want to be a CEO, you want to be a founder, or you just want to become a better person in life. Focus on your growth. That will be a really key. Another thing is accepting reality with things. Certain things you don't have control over it. Certain things they're just the way they are. So you have to accept the reality of, you know what, if things around me can't change, I have to find other ways. I have to accept that reality and find, okay, how can I be better? How can I grow? How can I improve at it? And how can I even go from point A to Z? Accept that reality. It might take time sometimes, or sometimes it might not happen overnight. Yes, you might be doing the same thing as other person. That person might get their success within a year or two, but for you, it might take you longer. And you just accept that reality because there's something things that you need to learn. You need to kind of emphasize on how to get there. So be okay with the timing. You accept that reality of it. And then other things also, be the change you want to see. A lot of times in life we actually want change, we want it to be better, we want it to, but we just kind of lack the motivation. But in order for you to be that change, you have to become it. You literally need to change your environment, or you need to change your thinking. You need to change your mindset on how you look at things. Sometimes it might require you to either educate yourself, finding a mentor, read a lot, watch videos, or even kind of like coming to watching YouTube videos like this to kind of encourage you. You need to be that change. You have to be that first person who sees where you want to be in life and become that change for you. Because honey, things are not handed out. You have to be that person who just gonna come in and go and make that change for yourself. Another thing is managing your money. So my 20, I learned to manage my money because trust me, there was time where I was broke as a joke because every paycheck that I was getting, I was spending it like my father was Obama or something. I was always living the life of basically living in the moment where I would get my paycheck, I would go straight to the mall and buy outfits. I would take my friends out, or I would invite people to certain things, and then I would be the one that is sponsoring everything. But I realized, you know what, I'm not thieving. I can't be living like that. So I need to come up with a better plan and making sure that there was times, honestly to God, there was time where whenever my birthday hits, I was broke. I was like, this is a curse. How could my birthday be coming up and I don't have money to celebrate? This was really weird. And I talked to my sister about it. I'm like, why is it that always when my birthday comes at the beginning of the year, because I'm born obviously in wintertime, I don't have money to celebrate with. My account doesn't reflect the money that I have been making last year. What's going on? So I took into my own knowledge of actually understand what's going on, is because my spending was really bad. My habit of money management was really bad. So I started being better. I started learning. I started saving up. And as a result of that, now I can tell you for the past 4 years, I make sure that I have money to flourish for my birthday. So I became better at it. And this is something that my 20s have taught me, that you need to have a future plan. You need to have some sort of money knowledge. You need to have a saving accounts. You need to know investment. You need to know how to do stocks and things like that. And this came to me as a hard awakening call because of just me trying to celebrate my birthday and not finding enough money to celebrate my birthday how I wanted it. My 20 basically taught me like, hey, you cannot be a broke person flexing and moving on with life. So you need to know how to manage your finance properly. You need to educate yourself. And this also comes in by educating yourself. A lot of things that I wanted to do, I know I didn't have the money for it. And I didn't have the money to pay people to do certain things for my business, especially for my blog or growing my fashion line. I didn't have the business background. I didn't have the marketing background. So what I did is I decided that I was going to go back to school. I was going to take online courses, and I was working full time. So I would use my full time money to invest into my part-time studies. And this is basically me trying to educate myself and knowing that if I invest into learning these things, then I don't have to pay anybody to teach me. I won't have to pay anybody to know to market my brand or brand my business. And this is basically has been the biggest investment ever. And I'm the one very super proud of it. So in my 20s, investing in my education, learning how to manage money, be the change that I wanted to see, and accepting reality as well as focus on my growth. Another thing I would also say my 20s has taught me is leaving toxic people alone and toxic environment. There are certain places and certain friendship that I didn't even need to be on it. So I learned to just kind of walk away and leave people they are, because they're just people who are going to refuse to change or refuse to grow. And it's okay for you to just kind of let them be. You can love people from afar. You can love people from a distance. So my 20s has taught me to move and accept the reality of that. Another thing that my 20 has taught me also, career decisions is very hard. Yes, I might have studied one thing, got a degree in another, but then my passions and what I want to go in life, it was somewhere else. And it was okay for me to pivot and finding what basically I value more and what basically I'm good at, and also understanding what I want to do with life and how I want to move forward, and then kind of making that hard decision or understanding, okay, what's my 10-year plan going to look like and how do I want to go about it? And this is some of the career decisions that I had to make in my 20s in order to get to this spot right now here today, to be able to be sitting in front of you and doing what I do. And these were some things that I had to make all these hard decisions during my 20. I remember me and my best friend, we would sit at the bus because we would we would take a commuting bus 2 hours to school and 2 hours back. And during those 2 hours, we would have a hard live conversations of businesses idea, of things that we wanted to do. Thank God for her, like Sweta, shout out to you. We spend countless of hours. We go to school 5 days a week, and those 2 hours have always been one of the most incredible 2 hours on the bus ride with her, because we will be discussing a lot of career decision and a lot of basically things that I do today is because of that conversation we have. And we never used to really talk about people. We never used to talk about gossip or anything. All the conversation we had was strictly about building wealth, about business ideas, about how we want to be able to like become better in life, journaling. That friendship in itself was one of the most valuable friendship I have, but because it kind of gave me perspective in life, and I would not take it for granted. And these are some things that I was doing in my 20s. Another thing in my 20s I learned is picking your battle. Not everything means your reactions. There's might be some people who might take you wrongly, or there might be some situations where like your teachers or your tutorials will grade you unfairly, and you just basically need to know where you have to react and not react to certain things, because you cannot be always giving your whole energy to a situation where it's gonna ruin your day or you're gonna ruin your mood. So you need to basically know when to react and when not to react. This can actually give you peace of mind, and this is some things that I have to learn in my 20s as well. Protecting your peace is gonna be really, really valuable, and you need to also know how to manage and control that peace of mind. Another thing in my 20s I learned, forget parties after parties after parties after parties. Honey, I was an event promoter and a model in the fashion industry. So a lot of these events require you to be in a different event after different event after different parties, always making sure that you show up and you show out. And as an event coordinator and a party planner for a lot of artists that has been brought into the city, I was responsible for doing their graphic design, their video, their promo, their media, as well as being there in person for this event to make sure that it's happening properly. All of these party after party was so exhausting. I'm like, I cannot do it. I will not do it. I want to find ways where I would be able to kind of use my skills of marketing where I don't have to be in all of these events. I can just promote it from a distance. And that's why I got into digital marketing anyway, because I just want to find ways I can get the message and get the job properly without having to always be on these party after party after party after party. Keep in mind, I don't drink. Okay. So imagine I don't drink alcohol and being in this event, all of these at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., coming back home because of success. I have a lot of successful show. I'm not going to kid you not, but it just wasn't for me. It didn't fit with my personality. I love the work I do, but it just the coming late, and I would rather just sit home, edit video rather than just being out there for party after party after party after party. I have friends that love it, but it was just not for me, and I had to let that go. I'm just like, my 20s was like, I'm like, not happening. Moving in silent is one thing that also I have to learn to do, because remember I told you as an event planner, I would always promoting, oh, this thing is happening, this thing is happening. I was Snapchatting every single scene, every single event I'm booking, every single deal I was getting. I was snapping it on the live. I was checking in places on social media, posting every move. This was really, really not good because A, it makes a lot of people envy you, and B, it makes it really, really hard, especially if the deal fall off and then now you have to kind of go in and explain yourself. I was not about to do that no more. So I learned to move in silence because it is just kind of a less of a headache, and it gives me a peace of mind because there's a lot of things that I wanted to be able to kind of celebrate just in silence and appreciate it. And then maybe there must be something that I would share, but moving in silence is something I had to learn in my 20s. Also, going in social media diet. I stopped posting in a Snapchat for almost about 2 years now. As I told you before, I was snapping chat every single thing that I was doing, and it was getting exhausted mentally, physically. I was just like, I'm done with all of these stuff. And now I tend to enjoy the moment, and I tend to be heavy on enjoy it now, post later. So even though I still might be posting some things in social media, I tend to post things now that have happened maybe last week or last month, and it was already done. The event is gone, and this is just the after throwback pictures that I decided to share and will post it. But it's not going to be like how it used to be, where in the moment I am sharing every single thing, and I'm sharing also my geo where I'm at. Imagine I was like, we're not doing that after the 20 years. Okay. So other things I also learned is journaling every single thing. So I'm really heavy on manifesting my plan, manifesting my goal. So I learned to have journals. I learned to have notes where I write down my ideas. Every idea written down is basically half done. Way it's kind of like, this is some things that I want to achieve with life, and this is how I'm gonna get there. And balancing your intention is going to be super, super crucial. In my 20s, I basically learned to balance my intention. I am very intentional with the things that I do and why I do it and how I want to do it, and being very, very mindful of the words that I use. Even sometimes I would have to encourage myself waking up in the morning, be like, yo, I am the dopest graphic designer. I am the most amazing, talented person you would ever meet. And I love what I do. I sometimes have to literally wake up and be that voice, be that encouraging voice, be that do that mantra. I for so many times where like it becomes a part of me, where I have to be very confident enough in understanding my talent and understanding this is not to be conceited, but this is very essential, especially if you want to be super confident, if you want to be super um excited about the stuff that you do, you need to give your compliment from your own self, because when you yourself are so proud of what you do, so proud of the skills you have, the outside people would just become as a bonus. It would just become as an additional things. But you from your inner self, you need to be able to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest supporter, your biggest investors. Because if you invest in yourself, other people will start to invest in you. So you need to have that mindset of understanding, balance your intention, journal whatever ideas you have, and move in silent, protect your peace, pick your battles, make an effective career decision, know your self-worth, manage your money properly, educate yourself, accepting sometimes reality, and also eliminate certain toxic friendship out. This is how you'll be able to move really well in your 20s. So these are some things that I have done in my 20s, and now I'm going into a new age and a new decade. I am super excited to be able to embrace that. And I hope this video was very valuable, and this video kind of gave you guys the juice to move forward in 2022. I said 2022 was going to be my year, and I want it to be my year. So if this is your year, take this video with grain of salt and learn some of these things to be able to level up. Because if you say 2022 is your year, I want you to comment below and say 2022 my year. Make it an intentional and very, very manifest your goal for this year. So drop down a comment, say 2022 is my year, and I will see you guys then. Make sure to hit and subscribe so that you can stay with my weekly video that I post here. And as I mentioned, I'm a content creator, digital marketer, as well as a blogger. So I will see you in my next video. Have a great weekend. Bye.